This is News 8 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Selena Lewis. Happy Father's Day. It was a hot one today and it's going to be even hotter tomorrow. To see just how hot and to talk about rainfall, Chief Meteorologist Stacey Pengen joins us now. Stacey?
Yeah, Selena, good news and bad news. We do have some much needed rain on the way, but we have to get through another even hotter day tomorrow before we get there. Almanac for today, 90 degrees, our high temperature. That's the second time this season we have hit 90. The record high for today, 94 from 1994. So we didn't hit a record, but it was a toasty one out there. Grilling forecast this evening if you're grilling with Dad or for Dad. Well, temperatures in the upper 80s, low 90s, feeling more like the 90s, so definitely a cold drink in hand. A good idea this evening. Watches and warnings, told you about that heat advisory. This is for the entire area from tomorrow morning through late tomorrow evening, and it's for the combination of even hotter air plus the dew point. The dew point rising into the 60s, even lower 70s by tomorrow afternoon. So this is how it will feel tomorrow afternoon during the peak heating of the day. Mid to upper 90s in Rochester, could feel close to triple-digit heat across parts of the area. Now we'll talk about when that rain arrives and how heavy it'll be, and then when we'll get some relief coming up. Selena?
Thanks, Stacey. This sunshine makes for a great day to be outside with your furry friends, but you may want to think twice about that tomorrow. As Stacey said, with temps likely reaching a record high, we have to do a little more to keep our pets safe. Ashley Zay with the Lollipop Farm says one of the best things you can do is actually keep them indoors.
Dogs, cats, they kind of cool themselves down by panting. If they're taking in that hot air, you know, they're just getting themselves even warmer, which makes them especially susceptible to things like heat stroke. Definitely give them a way to come in from the heat and get them a place for shade, places that they can cool down. Plenty of water, plenty of cool water, I should say, and make sure that's in a plastic dish rather than a metal dish.
And another friendly reminder, if you have to bring your pet out with you, do not leave them in the car. This time of year with the sun and heat, some unexpected car issues could creep up. News 8 is putting you first. Car repair experts will be in our studio to answer your questions and do live demonstrations. Auto Answers, that's Monday from 5 to 6:30 on News 8. And it's been nearly a year since Uber made its way to Rochester. In that time, many people have used the ride-sharing service to avoid drinking and driving. But now Uber is trying to figure out if their riders are intoxicated before they hop in the car. Mike Bunt joins us now live on East Avenue with more. Mike.
Selena, East Avenue is a popular drinking destination downtown, with many people using Uber to get home after having one too many beers. If the ride-sharing service has it their way, they could soon be tracking how often you're intoxicated while riding. Uber has a patent pending regarding a piece of artificial intelligence technology aimed at telling the difference between drunk and sober customers. It's still in its early stages, with many people questioning the consequences of collecting such information. People we spoke with here in Rochester were mixed on the idea.
I honestly, personally wouldn't care. I think it's acceptable for them to know if I was drinking or not.
I don't know. I think it could be a little invasive. I think that people take Ubers just because they want to be safer. So I think that there's a negative connotation with asking them if they've been drinking.
An algorithm would weigh a variety of different factors, such as typos, how precisely a user clicks, walking speed, and what time of day it is to determine if a rider was drunk. The company says they plan to better tailor its rides, either by warning drivers or matching them with drivers with relevant experience or training. Selena?
Thanks, Mike. Uber originally filed the patent in December of 2016. It's still unclear when the new technology would go into effect. State police need your help finding the driver responsible for hitting a bicyclist. It happened at around 9:30 a.m. yesterday on Brickyard Road in Canandaigua. According to police, the bicyclist was treated at a local hospital with minor injuries. The suspected vehicle is described as a light gray four-door sedan, possibly an older Pontiac. Officers say it's possible the red paint may have transferred onto the car and it could have rear end damage. The car also may have a yellow sticker on the trunk. And if you have any information, you're urged to call 911. A Sodus man is facing drunk driving charges after nearly striking a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy's car. 63-year-old Glenn LeClaire is charged with DWI, failure to keep right, and failure to submit to a pre-screen breath test. According to deputies, Leclerc crossed the center line and nearly hit the officer who was traveling in the opposite direction. He will appear in Town Court at a later date. Well, a local groom is fed up after his wedding party was left stranded following a fire at their hotel. Flames broke out at this Microtel Inn and Suites on Chile Avenue just after midnight. Monroe County Sheriff's deputies say an elevator fan motor burned out, causing the fire. 75 guests were evacuated and the hotel was closed. The groom says it's unfair that the hotel manager didn't help them make other arrangements after the fire.
We tried finding out what's going on as far as rooms, and he said pretty much you're on your own. I was able to get through to corporate and get some rooms reserved for me and my guests. Some of my guests actually had to go and stay at the airport waiting for their flights because they were flying out at 6 in the morning.
Now, we have reached out to hotel management for a comment but have not heard back yet. The hotel will remain closed until an inspection is completed by the fire marshal. 5 adults and 6 children are homeless tonight after their house caught fire. The fire started just before 12:30 on Emerson Street, and according to firefighters, it started on the second floor bedroom and took crews some time to find because of heavy smoke. Luckily, everyone was able to make it out safely, and the Red Cross is now helping the family. The Livingston County Humane Society says they try to rescue as many animals as possible, but they need the community's help. There's a nationwide pet population problem, and the shelter is calling on more people to adopt rather than buy pets from breeders. Mary Ellen West with the Humane Society says adoption is about saving more than just one life.
Anytime you get involved with rescue, you look around and you realize, wow, I saved these lives. And every time you adopt out, that makes more room in a shelter or in a foster home for another homeless animal to step in. Like Murray right now.
For more information about fostering a pet or adoption, visit our website, rochesterfirst.com. Well, fewer teens are working during their time off from school. A new report out by the U.S. Labor Statistics shows that only 40% of teens are getting jobs. That's down 72% from 1978. Instead, teens are picking up internships, sports, or advanced courses. The same report also shows that more than half of employers surveyed aren't hiring teens. Still ahead on News 8 at 6, runners take on the MedVed 5K to cure ALS in Rochester. Why one woman says it was important for her to take part. And as we head to break, check out this shot from our weather camera. Such a beautiful day out, but will we luck out with another stunner tomorrow? Stacy's full forecast coming up in just a bit.